Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't into wasting time. They can come close, but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Welcome to Motivational Monday on the Breaking the Silence podcast. I'm your host, Arthur Nicky Nicole, and this is your reminder that you don't have to carry everything alone. Every week, we come together for real conversations, real growth, and real moments that remind us that we're human before anything else. So, wherever you are, take this moment for yourself, open your heart, and let's grow through this together. This is Motivational Monday, where healing begins when silence breaks. You know what? People don't talk about enough how tiring it is always being the strong one, the strong friend, the strong parent, the strong sibling, the strong leader, the strong person everybody runs to when life falls apart. People celebrate your strength so much that sometimes they forget you're human too. And after a while, you start to forgetting it too. You become so used to holding everything together that you don't even know how to admit when you're falling apart. You answer, I'm good, automatically. You smile automatically. You encourage everybody else automatically. Meanwhile, there are nights you're lying in the bed, emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and spiritually tired. Not because you're weak, but because you're carrying everything all the time is heavy. And I think a lot of people listening today can relate to that feeling, the feeling of constantly showing up for everybody else while secretly wishing somebody would ask if you were okay. Not the surface level, how you doing, but the real kind, the kind where somebody notices the weight behind your smile. Because strong people get overlooked. People assume they got it, they're figured out, they always bounce back. But what happens when the strong person gets tired? What happens when the person holding everybody else together needs somebody to hold them together? And that's the conversation we need to have. A lot of us were forced into strength, right? Forced. It wasn't something we chose. Life demanded it from us. Pain demanded it from us. Survival demanded it from us. And some of you became strong because nobody came to save you. Some of you became strong because you had children depending on you. Some of you became strong because you experienced loss so deep that you had no choice but to keep moving. And somewhere along the way, strength stopped being a temporary season and became your entire identity. But here's something I need you to understand. Just because you can carry it doesn't mean you're supposed to carry it alone. Put that in your spirit, read it in your spirit. Just because you've mastered survival doesn't mean you're healed. Let me say that one more time. Just because you mastered survival doesn't mean you're healed. Because a lot of us, truth be told, walk around suffering in silence. And we don't talk to people about things that we're going through because the fear of them telling your business. Because we all know people love good gospel, right? But a lot of people are functioning while emotionally exhausted. They're surviving but not resting. And there's a difference. Smiling but not okay. Working but burnt out. Helping everybody else while slowly pouring from an empty cup. And eventually, exhaustion catches up with all of us. It will slow you down so bad it will make you stop. I've been there several times, y'all. Several times where God said, you know what? Sit down. Just for a moment, sit down. But sometimes it looks like anger. Sometimes it looks like isolation. Sometimes it looks like shutting down emotionally. And sometimes it looks like losing motivation. Sometimes it looks like crying in silence because you don't even know how to explain what you feel anymore. You can't even put into words. That's why rest is so important. And it took me a while to get there, y'all. So listen, been there, done that. But not just the physical rest, y'all. Emotional rest, mental rest, spiritual rest. Some of you don't need another motivational quote. You need permission to breathe, permission to not have all the answers, permission to say, I'm struggling, permission to ask for help, permission to admit you're tired. Because being human is not weakness. I think one of the biggest lies we've been taught is that strength means never breaking. Nope. Real strength is honesty. Real strength is saying, I'm not okay right now. I need support. I need space. I need healing. I need rest. That takes a lot of courage because a lot of people can perform strength, but vulnerability, that scares a lot of people, especially people who are used to being dependable. You know, why though? Because when everybody sees you as strong, you start feeling guilty for having those hard days. You start apologizing for your emotions. You start hiding your struggles. You start suffering quietly because you don't want to disappoint people. But you are not a machine. You are a person, and people need to care too. Some of you have spent years carrying family drama, relationship pain, financial pressure, disappointment, grief, heartbreak, rejection, and responsibilities nobody even knows about. And still, out of all of that, you kept showing up. That's something for you to pat yourself on the back for. But don't confuse endurance with healing because surviving pain and processing pain are two different things. Some people survive what broke them, but never heal from it. And now they live in this constant survival mode, always alert, always guarded, always emotionally prepared for something bad to happen. That kind of living is exhausting. And eventually your mind, your body, and your spirit start asking for rest. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. I want somebody listening to hear this clearly. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to completely break down before you deserve care. You don't have to wait until the burnout destroys you before you slow down. Learn to take care of yourself now because constantly being everything for everybody can make you lose yourself in the process. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause. Pause and check on you. What do you need? What has your spirit been asking for? What emotions have you ignored lately? What pain have you buried because life kept moving? Healing requires honesty. And healing also requires community. So please stop convincing yourself that you have to handle everything alone. Everybody needs somebody. People need people, even the strong ones, especially the strong ones. You deserve safe spaces and places too. You deserve support. You deserve understanding. You deserve peace. Boy, peace is everything. You understand me? And I know some people are struggling with receiving because they're always the giver. But healing isn't just learning how to pour, it's learning how to receive love, receive grace, receive help, receive rest, and stop feeling guilty about it. Because exhausted people cannot keep operating at the full capacity forever. Sooner or later, something starts breaking internally. That's why self care isn't selfish. Boundaries aren't selfish. Rest isn't selfish because you matter too. And I think sometimes we forget by chasing responsibilities. Some people, listen today, haven't truly rested in years, not emotionally, not mentally. Even when your body sits down, your mind keeps running. Because I know mine do. I can sit down for a minute, y'all, and my mind just be going, and going like an energizer bunny. Like I'm thinking about everything under the moon and the sun. My mind just won't sit still for just a second for me to rest. Worrying about something, overthinking something because I'm a big I analyze everything. I'm an analytical thinker and I think about everything from the top to the bottom to the end to the beginning, all over the place to make sure everything comes together. Caring people, fixing problems, preparing for the next battle. That's survival mode. And survival mode is exhausting. You deserve moments where you can simply exist without carrying the world on your shoulders. And I know that's hard because it's been hard for me to just sit back and let things unfold the way they unfold. You deserve a peace that doesn't have conditions attached to it. You deserve relationships where you don't always have to be the strong one. And let me say this too: stop attaching your word to how much pain you can endure. You don't have to suffer to prove your strength. You don't have to constantly sacrifice yourself to be valuable. You are worthy even when you rest, even when you pause, even when you need help. Strength is not pretending, strength is healing honestly. So today, I want you to release that pressure, to have it all together. Release the pressure to always be available. Release the pressure to always save everybody. Release the pressure to constantly prove your resilience. You've already survived enough to know how strong you are. Now it's time to learn softness too. Because softness is not weakness. Rest is not weakness. Feeling, feeling like, feeling emotions is not weakness. You are allowed to be human. And if nobody told you lately, I am proud of you for continuing even when life got heavy. I'm proud of you for surviving moments nobody knew nearly broke you. I'm proud of you for still trying. But now I also want you to heal, not just to survive, because there's a difference. And maybe this season of your life isn't about proving how strong you are anymore. Maybe this season is about learning how to care for yourself the same way you care for everybody else. And believe me, I know that's the hardest thing in the world to do because I'm in that moment right now in my life. I'm in that moment right now. It's one of the hardest lessons of all. But this has been another episode of Motivational Monday on the Breaking Silence podcast. And this message has spoke to you. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with somebody who's been caring more than they admit. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and continue growing me every single week. And remember, strength is powerful, but healing is necessary. So until next time, protect your peace. Give yourself some grace and never stop unleashing your inner voice. And begin showing yourself that you can be a better you by choosing you. Later, everybody.
I just think about the better days. In the past and the future, I be going through it every day. I'm trying to come up with some other way. Let him elevate and turn the dark days to a brighter way. You can catch me at the top of the mountain, my guy. Watch you learn, I'ma teach you to go out and fly. And believe me, now it's funny, I'm blowing their mind. Was going hard, so all they had to was some time. I got big goals, so I'ma stay in my lane. I just want the money, you can have the fame. I can't forget from where I came. Trying to shake back from all this pain. Hoping for some better days.